Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a pigeon. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. An easy way to draw the circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. On the top right side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Make this circle about half the size of the first circle. Don't place the circles too far apart or the neck will be too long. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. Draw a horizontal line across the small circle as a guide for later. On the right side of the head, draw a small triangular shape as a guide for the beak. Notice how small the beak is in relation to the head. On the bottom left side, make a small mark for the back portion of the body. Pay attention to the distance between this mark and the big circle. Connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the back portion of the body. This guide is basically an arc on its side. Connect the head to the body using a couple of lines to create the guide for the neck. The shape of the neck should be wide. On the left side of the body, draw a long triangular shape as a guide for the tail. Make the base of the tail wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the tip. Don't make the tail too long. Under the body, draw an angled line as a guide for the leg. Draw a short horizontal line at the bottom as a guide for the foot. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the horizontal construction guide and slightly to the right of the center of the head circle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. In the middle of the eye, draw a smaller circle and shade it in for the pupil. Add a tiny circle next to the pupil for a highlight. Draw a couple of lines around the eye for the bare skin. Keep these lines close to the shape of the eye. Use the triangular shape on the right side as a guide to draw the beak. Darken the top edge of the guide for the top part of the beak. Make the line a bit more curved than the guide. Draw a sloping line across the guide for the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Darken the bottom part of the guide for the lower section of the beak. Add a small dot to the top of the beak for the nostril. Draw a small curved shape on top of the beak for the section called the cere. Add a couple of lines at the bottom for the base of the beak. Now darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. The top of the head is made up of a long continuous line. The area under the beak should be more curved than the initial circle. Extend the line farther down to create the throat. Lightly sketch a long curved line across the entire body for the folded wing. Follow the basic shape of the body as you draw this line. The left tip of this line should be inside the base of the tail. When you get the shape of the wing right, darken the lines. As you darken the left side, use smaller curved lines for the feathers. The top of this line should be close to the neck. On the left side, draw a long thin shape for the tip of the wing. The tip of the wing should block a big portion of the tail. Use the angled line under the body as a guide to draw the leg and foot. Draw a wide shape at the top for the feathery base of the leg. Draw the rest of the leg around the guideline. Don't make the shape of the leg too thick. Draw the toes along the horizontal guide. Add a thin pointy shape to the tip of the toes for the nails. Draw 2 more thin shapes for the other toes. Draw a toe at the bottom and another one at the top. Draw the other leg and foot to the right the same way. Use long, thin shapes for the toes and make the tips pointy for the nails. Part of this leg will be hidden behind the first leg. Add the toe that points backward too. Now darken the outer edges of the initial guides to create the shape of the body. Don't overlap the tip of the wing or the leg that's on this side of the body as you darken the edges. Use a series of short strokes on the bottom left side for a feathery texture. Darken the shape of the tail, but make it a bit thinner than the guide. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Add a few curved lines on the tip of the wing for the individual feathers. Draw a couple of stripes that are made up of short strokes across the middle of the wing. Add a few short strokes to the back of the neck too. Now color your drawing. Color the main part of the head and neck gray. Color lightly at first and gradually build up to darker colors. For a light shade of a color, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for a darker shade. Leave the front of the neck blank for now. Use darker shades of gray to create shadows. Shadows will give the shapes more dimension and volume. Color the beak dark gray. Leave a few thin sections blank on the beak for highlights. Now add the iridescent colors on the neck. Use different shades of green and purple to color this section. Use dark shades on the sides and then gradually make them lighter toward the center. Use a bit of blue to make the edges of the green section darker. Add yellow-green to the center for a highlight. At the bottom, use dark blue to make the edges of the purple section darker. Use a bit of pink for the highlight in the middle. Slowly and gradually blend the colors together. Push down slightly harder on your pencils to blend the colors together. Now use different shades of gray to color the main part of the body. Use dark gray for shadows and light gray for highlights. Use a lighter shade of gray to color the folded wing. Use dark gray and black to color the tip of the wing, the tail, and the stripes. Use lighter values to create highlights. Color the eye using a blend of red, brown, and orange. Use pink to color the feet. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using gray and a bit of blue. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the pigeon. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.